Hello everyone, welcome to Tale Corner by Evan. Today we have an exciting story about a lazy boy who is actually very clever. Through this story we'll learn how even a lazy person can overcome their laziness and work harder. But that's not all. While listening to the story, we will also learn some new vocabulary and how to use it in sentences. This will make learning English fun and easy. So, stay with me until the end of the story. Once upon a time, in a small village, there was a boy named Ryan. He lived with his father in a small house at the edge of the village. Ryan was very lazy. Every day he helped his father on the pumpkin field, but his only job was to scare away the birds that came to destroy the crops. Most villagers used sticks or slingshots to scare the birds, but Ryan didn't want to move around much. Instead, he set up wooden poles with bells around the field and connected them with strings. By pulling the strings from afar, he could ring the bells to scare the birds without getting up, lying down while doing his work. Ryan's father was very worried about his son's laziness and often thought, "What will Ryan do if one day I fall ill and can't help him?" However, since Ryan always managed to complete his tasks, his father never scolded him. One summer, a long drought hit the village, and Ryan's father fell seriously ill. Ryan had to take care of the pumpkin field all by himself. He tried his best, but because he wasn't used to heavy labor, he couldn't keep the crops healthy. After a few weeks, the pumpkins began to wilt and die. That evening, Ryan sat under the starry sky, feeling helpless and disappointed. He thought, "Why didn't I try harder before? Now all of my family's hopes have vanished." The next morning, Ryan overheard villagers talking. When he went to see what was happening, he learned that a soldier was announcing a great competition at the king's palace. The winner would receive a chest of treasure. Ryan thought, "This could save my family." Without hesitation, he declared that he would join the competition. The villagers laughed. They said, "How can someone as lazy as Ryan compete with strong people from across the kingdom?" But Ryan didn't care. He had 3 days to reach the palace, so he set off immediately. His father didn't believe Ryan would win, but he hoped this would motivate him to change and work harder. After 3 days, the competition began. All the contestants gathered by a large lake. The organizers announced that the contestants must race across the lake in boats, and the first 3 to finish would advance to the next round. Each person was provided with a boat and paddles. When the race started, everyone paddled vigorously to move forward. But Ryan realized he didn't have an advantage in physical strength and thought, "If I just paddle, I'll definitely lose." Observing his surroundings, he noticed the wind blowing strongly. Immediately, Ryan came up with an idea. He used some fabric and wood from the boat to create a simple sail. While the others grew tired from paddling, Ryan combined the wind's power with his rowing to steer his boat forward. Thanks to his creativity, he overtook many contestants and finished second, securing a spot in the next round. The next day, the final round began. The contestant's task was to push a large wooden block over a distance of 1 kilometer. Behind them were many tools to choose from, but each person could only pick one. The first contestant chose a rope to pull the block. The second chose a wooden bar to use as a lever. As usual, Ryan didn't rush. He thought carefully and decided to choose a small knife. The crowd was astonished and wondered, how can a small knife help him push the block? But instead of pushing, Ryan started carving the block into a round shape, turning it into a large ball. After an hour, he finished shaping the block. Now, instead of dragging a heavy wooden block, Ryan could easily roll the ball to the finish line. He passed his struggling opponents and was the first to reach the finish line. The crowd cheered loudly, amazed that a lazy boy could achieve victory. This story shows us that even if you're lazy, you can still be intelligent and creative. However, to achieve great success, you need a strong motivation, like Ryan's love for his family. So, if you ever feel lazy, find a big goal to push yourself, whether it's for your family, your dreams, or to prove yourself to others. Today we also learned new vocabulary and phrases through this story. Remember, learning English can be fun when you practice consistently. So, keep listening, learning, and growing. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next